together. Try to love one another right now.
Welcome back to Families in Action, brought to you by your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We are in studio now with Alex Urbina, and hi, Cary.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, glad you could join us today. We just got some sort of unfortunate news during that last break that we need to share with the public about an event that we were having tomorrow that we need to cancel. Unfortunately, some of the main speakers for that event were unable to make it, and we just got last minute. So tomorrow's event at the Action Family Zone will not be taking place. So if you're listening and you were planning on attending, please go out and treat yourself to dinner or something.
Yeah. Plus, I want to clean up a quote too that was in the paper.
Okay.
It said that I said that the cartel is attacking Santa Clarita and the kids. Actually, that's not at all true. It's not how I meant it to say. What is true is the cartel is marketing the USA, and they're marketing big the suburban USA.
The cities like
like Santa Clarita. Cities like Santa Clarita, right. Not directly. It's always an indirect deal because they have people out selling dope. But it's not. They're not picking. I'm going to go to Santa Clarita today and Moore Park tomorrow and see me next week. So it's not that at all.
Right.
It's just they're marketing their dope to our country more than ever. That's all.
Well, and I'd like to say something about that article too that I read is we have such, Santa Clarita is unique in the sense that as a community and the organizations in the community, including the school district, the sheriff's department, the city itself, and many other organizations, we are talking this thing to death. So we have an awareness of what's going on.
I don't know any city.
Right.
The Simi Valley is close, but I don't know any city that is fighting this as hard as we are. So we're talking more than anywhere else. I mean, you're going to hear it brought up by many different people.
And it's certainly in some households in any community, including Santa Clarita, there's a measure of denial. I don't want to believe my kids are doing these things, but as a whole, certainly, in Santa Clarita, it is not a big, deep, dark secret that's out there. Everybody knows that there's a drug problem.
But I'll tell you this too. I was speaking to some of the not kids that we're dealing with, the young adults, and they're not even getting their dope here in Santa Clarita.
No, they hop over the hill.
Yeah, because the sheriff's department is so on top of what's going on. The dealers are scared.
Right.
They don't want to deal here in Santa Clarita, so our kids are now finding themselves having to go out of Santa Clarita to get a lot of the dope. So props to the sheriff's department.
I think it's good feedback, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's great stuff. I love when I hear that stuff.
Yeah. And we did, we had a gentleman that was working for the LA Times that's written an article named Sam Quinones, and he was kind of breaking down on our show the way that it works to target different rural areas and what he had found. And he made a statement that said that sort of system, pizza delivery heroin, if you will, started in or around the San Fernando Valley, and so it's strong over the hill.
Right. I think what it is there's one town in Mexico, and I don't remember the name. You can go back. It was 2 weeks ago, our show, but there's one town, and a lot of the heroin is coming from that town. And what they're doing is they've got runners that are going out and dealing that dope, and that's from the cartel, but they're never dealing quite enough when they're delivering it. There's short little pieces of it, so when they get caught, really they're deported.
Yeah,
is what happens, and then they just have somebody else
come. They plug another one in with a cell phone.
So they came out, So they're coming out with a real good way of marketing their dope and getting it out into our country without any huge bus.
Yeah. Well, and so we really want anybody who's listening, please spread the word that tomorrow's event at the Action Family Zone, unfortunately, will not be taking place. But
we are going to do something.
We do have future events.
It's not going to be that.
Yeah,
that's right.
We have future events planned, which is, we were just talking about the prevention efforts that Action is doing in the community, and that's one of many, many prevention efforts. Is the symposiums and the events and the stuff that we do. Another thing that we are a huge part of is interventions. And what that looks like, on a personal level is, interventions for people in drug and alcohol world come in many different forms.
Right, but before you go to that, come tomorrow anyways, because we're going to let's have the speaker, like Emily told her story.
Absolutely.
And I'll do a little thing on contracts.
Absolutely. I think one of the unfortunate things about setting up, an event is you get committed to this event, you start lining up your all-stars. And, if you're my number one all-star that I locked in, which I appreciate your time, Cary. But as I started locking everyone else in, there was a little bit of wavering, and as we start to get some wavering, it's unfortunate that we couldn't lock on the rest of them to really have this event. But
it's still something you don't want to miss. We'll still have some fun, and there'll be some education.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's actually, it's funny is these things sort of take a life of their own. And when something like this happens, we're going to get 50 or 100 people that show up anyway. And let's just talk to each other in that context and see what's going on.
The more we talk, the more we learn.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I've been doing this thing for 30 years, and every time I go to one of these events, even if I'm participating or not, I learn something.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff to go to. I mean, knowledge is power. Let's remember that. Hey, guess what?
Is Peter making us take a break?
Oh, look at this.
Look at the look.
Moving his fingers.
He's like, come on.
He's giving us dirty looks. Hey,
This
Peter.
is this.
No. If he wants us to take on break, if he wants us to take break, let him take us on break. What do you think?
Go, Peter. You don't have a mic? Here, watch this.
He doesn't. Okay, Peter, take us on break.
You're listening to Families in Action on AM 1220 KHTS. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned.
All right.